I know that it's hard to know what to say to a newly bereaved parent, but there's some things that really should never be said. Here's a short list. Number one, God must have needed another angel. That doesn't seem likely to me, and unless you're an expert in the field of this, which I don't know how you could be, it's not a comforting statement and should never be said. There's no better place than with the mother. Leading to number two, he or she is in a better place. Then here with me? No, that's just a no. Please don't say that. It's not comforting. Number three, oh, I know exactly how you feel. I just lost a parent, a sibling, a friend, a dog. I have had all of these things said to me, and over the course of my lifetime, I have lost my parents, friends, dogs, and I know fundamentally that unless you have lost a child, you have no idea how they feel. And these other losses, although horrendous and very difficult to deal with, they do not compare on a cellular level with what a bereaved parent feels when they lose their child. So please avoid this statement at all costs. Number four, you're so strong, you're doing so well. No. The person is likely still, if they're in the early days, they're in shock. They are feeling numb. The body, under extreme trauma of grief, sort of clamps down on all the organs, and you go into survival mode. And so you can't really process your emotions properly in front of people then, or maybe ever, or depends on the day. So rather than that, maybe just ask how they're feeling, and if they are, would like to talk about their grief to you. That would be a better option. Number five, call me if you need anything. Now, this is, I'm sure, meant well to a grieving parent, but please, unless you actually mean that, and that you are willing to receive a text or phone call at any hour of the day or night that may include lots of tears, sobbing, hysteria, anxiety, and a full meltdown, then don't say that. If you do actually mean that, that's fantastic, and you should continue to show up for that grieved parent. But please don't throw that out there, because we won't call. Even if we desperately need something, we don't have the strength and aren't willing to put ourselves out there to do that. So, that being said, here are a few things that really could help. It's simple, but a hug and just an "I am so very sorry for your loss," and add something personal. Like for me, when someone said, "Colton was such a kind and good friend to me," or "I really enjoyed watching the beautiful bond that you and Colton had," and using his name, or the child that has been lost, their name, it's so soothing to a grieving mother or father, I'm sure. So that would really be a great idea. Please continue to show up. That means keep sending texts, keep leaving voice messages. There might be a long time between the times that you might get a word or a very short text back, and that doesn't mean that they didn't get the message. It just means they're not emotionally ready to share or get back to their friends who care. And don't take offense at this. This is just how it is in the early days of grief. But continue to be there, because we remember who was there for us, and we also remember who was not there for us. And both of those things have lasting effects on how a bereaved parent feels. Show up, and that's a big thing. Just, it'll be uncomfortable, but do it anyways. You really don't know what they need unless you go to their house. Just go over. If they don't answer the door, they don't answer the door. But if they do, you'll be able to see what's needed. Is there groceries in the fridge? Does their house look like a war zone and could use a good tidying up? Are there other children there, perhaps, that need looking after, or just a diversion? Maybe you could, let that mother grieve freely without having to hide it and do it when other children aren't there. Perhaps take them out on an outing and give her some time to either sleep or shower or cry. Okay. That's all I have for now. I hope this makes sense to both bereaved parents. I'm sure you've heard all these weird things and more. And if you're here because you want to support someone who's grieving, I hope that made sense to you too. Please continue to do what you're doing to care for these people. And so will I. Until tomorrow.